Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Leatherneck Insider. I'm Johnny Jazarowski.
And I'm Kylie Rogers. The WIU football team has a new captain in charge. The former Leatherneck himself, Miles Hendrickson, is happy to be back and is excited to get things rolling in leading the Leatherneck football team. I got to talk to Coach Hendrickson last week about what it's like to be back in the MAC. Coach Hendrickson will be leading the way for his alma mater as the 31st head coach at WIU. Coach and I discussed what it feels like to be back, where it all started.
I'm so excited and thankful and honored to lead this program, which was such a great tradition. I had a great experience as a Leatherneck student athlete, and I'm just very excited to give this great experience back to future generations of Leathernecks. It's been a lot of fun, meeting with alumni, former players, teammates of mine. We share a bond, we share a brotherhood, a lifelong fraternity that truly only Leatherneck can have. And so we're really excited about that, very proud of that. But it's more than just that. I want to blend the tradition and the success of the past with a experience of success for the future that we have not ever experienced at Western Illinois University. So I'm really excited about the future of our program.
Coach Hendrickson will build and expand the culture by pounding the rock. Coach has more of what pound the rock means.
I'm going to be very clear on our purpose is that we pound the rock with Leatherneck football. So what does that mean is that you may be swinging over and over and working and not getting any results, but we're going to be process driven at Western Illinois. We're going to fall in love with the process. So you may swing 1,000 times, not have a dent, a scratch, or even a mark on that rock. But that 1,001st swing, the rock may break, and that could be the big breakthrough. And so we're going to be very process driven in that. My time at Kansas Wesleyan, we win those big games, and people ask, well, how you do it and win those championships? How do you win all those games? And it's like, well, we pound the rock. We show up, roll our sleeves up, go to work every single day, and then the results come. And I tell the team that right after big wins, I'd say, hey, you pound the rock all week. This was not the significant part. It was all the work you put in along the way that was significant, because adversity is coming. Bad things are going to happen in football. That's the way it is. In college football game, there's going to be ups and downs. But if you keep pounding away, pound the rock, good things will happen. And so we're very process driven. And, that's what our culture is going to be based around is the process holistically, academically, professionally, socially. We're going to grow our athletes in every single way above just athletically. That's really important to me as a head coach. And if we do that and pound the rock in all those phases and all those categories, then we can achieve some really special things and develop our character, our trust, and our commitment within our program. And then we achieve special things within Leatherneck football.
Coach Hendrickson wants to use all three phases to take this team and program to places they've never been. This fall, Coach Hendrickson said he will see a physical, hard-nosed, fundamentally sound team in all three phases, but also a dynamic team that will be exciting for Leatherneck fans to watch. Reporting for Leatherneck Insider, I'm Kylie Rogers. Coach Hendrickson and company kicked off the season with a successful signing class, bringing in 17 players who committed to pounding the rock. The signing class as of February 2nd included 4 offensive linemen, 3 D linemen, 3 defensive backs, 3 wide receivers, 2 linebackers, 1 running back, and 1 quarterback. The talent comes from Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Georgia. 2 signees to watch is 4-star wideout Taj Saunders and dual-threat quarterback Byron Jarrett. Sanders receiving offers from Nebraska, Michigan State, Tennessee, and many other FBS schools decided to join the history of talented wide receivers from WIU. He's a big-time playmaker the team is excited about. While Jarrett, the 6'4", 230-pound quarterback, is ranked the #1 dual-threat QB. In junior college, he threw for 3,500 yards and had 900 yards rushing. These 2 guys and the rest of the class will bring tons to the table.
It's definitely going to be exciting to watch all the new additions. If you want to see this group, there's going to be a spring football game at Hanson Field April 22nd. There's more details to be released later. In Western volleyball news, change is inevitable in a college program, and the Western Illinois volleyball team is making a change. Head coach Ben Stauppe's contract was not renewed on December 13th. Stauppe went 16-68 in his 4-year charge, including a 5-24 record this past fall. A national search is currently going on to find the 12th coach in the history of Western Illinois volleyball program.
Don't go anywhere because Leatherneck Insider will be right back to discuss two key players that are being recognized for their hard work on the court.
Taking me home, taking me home.
Here, I engineer the future.
Taking me home. Bring me back.
Here, I have countless opportunities.
Taking me home. Bring me back.
Here, I do research.
Right here at Western.
Welcome back to Leatherneck Insider. Daniel and I is over in Western Hall to update us on some women's basketball news. Daniel, what's it looking like over there?
Well, it's a little hot in here, but the women's basketball team has had a rough patch since the beginning of 2022 and got their first win of the year on January 29th. 10 days ago on January 19th, however, during their losing streak, they did get a shed of light when one of their players got nominated for an award.
On January 19th, the Becky Hammond Mid-Major Player of the Year watch list was announced, and to her surprise, Leatherneck's very own Danny Nichols was nominated.
Honestly, I wasn't even expecting it. I didn't even think about it. And then, I mean, it's exciting and it feels good to get that. It feels like all my hard work has paid off. So it's just kind of rewarding feeling.
Although Danny Nichols is being recognized individually, she couldn't have gone this far alone.
Definitely my teammates. Like, we get along so well off the court, and I just think that makes the whole college basketball experience so much better. And like, we're not pointing fingers, and if we're like having fun and like good friends and all close, like that just makes life on the court a lot more fun and a lot easier. I think this is one of our better teams that like we know each other more on the court. We all kind of think somewhat similar. Obviously, like all my coaches have influenced me, every single one of them, in how I play and what skills I've learned.
Danny finished off the interview by giving a couple words of advice to young athletes trying to make it somewhere.
Just keep like working hard and like putting in the time. Like when you're at practice, like practice hard. Don't just show up just to be there. Don't go through the motions. And if you just keep putting in the time, like you can do it.
This has been Daniel Anaya with Leatherneck Insider.
Danny Nichols is currently having her highest scoring season, beating her previous record of 361 points in 2019-2020 season with 381 points this season. Nichols also passed former teammate Olivia Kaufman for 12th all-time. Danny Nichols and the Lady Leathernecks will be back in action on February 10th as they will travel to North Dakota to take on NDSU and then North Dakota on February 12th. Kylie and Johnny, it's going to be an exciting last 6 games as the regular season will soon be coming to a close. Back to you guys for some men's basketball news.
Thanks, Daniel. Having so many accomplishments in both his high school and college career, Trenton Masner wins his second Player of the Week award this season.
WIU basketball player Trenton Masner is having one of his best seasons so far in his career, after being recognized twice for Summit League Player of the Week.
It's probably better than anything I've ever done, just because it's at the highest level. So I'm always trying to accomplish like whatever I do at the highest levels.
Coming from Southland Conference to the Summit League, Masner has new goals for the season.
I knew that this league was a good fit for me. That's kind of why I came here. So I wouldn't say that. I mean, I thought I could do it, but to say I would be having as much success as I am, I probably couldn't really say I expected it, but it definitely was a goal of mine.
Even though he's had many accomplishments, Masner always makes sure to help lead the team to a victory.
I think when you play with other players like Will and Colton and like just guys that can score and make shots, it's like makes my job a lot easier. And then when on nights when I'm not scoring, I can just do so many other things and try helping our team win. And that's just kind of what I'm here for. I just want to win.
When we come back, Leatherneck Insider reporter and Western Illinois baseball pitcher Jack Bell jumps over to the softball diamond to help us preview the upcoming softball season. Stay tuned for more.
Your vision.
My goal is to work at a top 100 television station as a reporter, anchor, and a producer.
Our mission.
Thanks to Western, I have a resume that would beat out most students from the top journalism schools in the country.
This is Western Illinois University.
I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Welcome back to Leatherneck Insider. The Western Illinois softball team released its schedule this past week as they are now days away from getting their 2022 campaign underway. Head coach Elisa Goller sits down to further discuss the upcoming schedule as the season is getting ready to go full swing.
The Western Illinois softball team released its schedule this past week as they are now days away from getting their 2022 campaign underway. Head coach Elisa Goller took some time to talk about the schedule.
I think, especially year two, now that we've kind of been through it, year one was a little weird because we were playing like 4 Summit League games in a series, and that really threw everything. But our biggest conversation that Colin and I had when we were looking at the schedule was trying to find a healthy mix of teams where we felt like we could truly compete and be in every single game with, mix in some teams that maybe have a really cool facility and vibe because student athlete experience. I want all of our players to get a chance to play, at some cool venues too that they may not normally get a chance to be at. Also, the perk of playing top 25 teams is that the pitching and everything that you're going to face is going to prepare you for the conference schedule that we have. We can't ask for wins and losses, but we can do our best to set our team up for success.
Last season, the pitching staff was considered one of the top programs in the nation in terms of strikeout to walk ratio for most of the season. Coach Goller spoke on what it means to have the entire staff returning, plus the addition of 2 new pitchers.
But my hope would be that they can truly understand, like we tell them all the time, that each of them is on the staff because they all have their own superpower, as we call it. They all do one thing that nobody else on that staff can do. And when you have 5 people that bring that to the table, it should allow you to mix and match and make it a tough time for other offenses. And like I said, being an offensive-minded coach, that was my thing is I want to make it as hard as possible on opposing hitters that they don't ever get the same look 3 times in a game. That's very difficult to do, and not a lot of schools can do that. So, if you don't have somebody that's going to be an All-American in the circle, you have to find other ways to make it tough on the opposing team. And I am very hopeful that we will be able to do that successfully.
The Leathernecks will open their season up in Chicago at the Rosemont Dome tournament Friday, February 11th against Bowling Green State.
Thanks, Jack. The Leathernecks will open their season in Chicago at the Rosemont Dome tournament Friday, February 11th against Bowling Green State.
We are just a little over a week away from WIU baseball opening day, and even though it doesn't look like spring outside, the Leathernecks are ready to get after it.
The snow may be in Macomb for a while, but Western Illinois' baseball team's opening day is right around the corner, and the team cannot be more ready.
So we're just ready to do it. I mean, we're, like you said, we're a couple weeks away. I mean, we're 2 weeks and a day from getting on the bus, go down to Bowling Green, and we're just all chomping at the bit, ready to rock.
Western does not have the big Power 5 schools that you have seen in the past in the early parts of their schedule, but they do take trips to Minnesota, Iowa, and Missouri during the season to bring a little excitement to some midweek games.
Oh, it's always exciting. My first ever game was, like you said, at Tennessee, and the atmosphere and energy of those Power 5 schools is unmatched compared to any other school. They have the facilities, they have the recruits, they have the players. It's just an overall, it gets your body going. It's like one of those things why you come to a school like Western is because we play the Power 5 schools, we play the big schools.
Even without the typical Power 5 schools, Western still has a tough non-conference schedule, taking a big weekend road trip down to Charlotte.
Charlotte, that third weekend is a top 25 program. They were in the mix of possibly hosting a regional last year, maybe a couple wins away from having that happen. So it's still going to be tough, because Western Kentucky's always tough. Little Rock's always solid. And then going to play at Butler in their home opener is going to be tough too.
New faces will be the theme this season, adding 2 new teams into the Summit League in Northern Colorado and St. Thomas. The challenge is figuring out their tendencies early.
Having 2 new schools, one that's coming from a different level of play, plus another one that's coming from another conference, it's hard to gauge on their tendencies and what they like to do. Do they like to steal a lot? Are they going to hit for power? What are their pitchers like? It's a completely different ball game and how they play the game.
Reporting for Leatherneck Insider, I'm Will Thomas.
Pitch of the season will be in Bowling Green, Kentucky, as they will take on Western Kentucky on February 18th.
With spring sports right around the corner, WIU's own Katie Tanner has been named an athlete to watch heading into the golf season. Reporter Nick Grunwald has more.
After an impressive junior season in which she set new personal bests, Tanner reflected on her newly found motivation that led to her success.
Definitely my coach pushed me harder this year than what she has in the past. So it was nice having her confidence in me, and it grew basically make me having confidence in myself.
Tanner said it was a nice feeling to receive this recognition, but her goal now becomes to prove people right.
I want to prove that I am a player to watch and come out and play well.
Tanner and the Leathernecks now turn their attention to the spring season as they look to build off last year and continue to push themselves even further.
Really just prepare mentally and get more familiar or comfortable swinging outside because we've been inside for the past 3 months now. So yeah, get more comfortable getting outside again and just getting ready to compete.
WIU opens up their spring campaign February 7th in Florida. For Leatherneck Insider, I'm Nick Grunwald.
Thanks, Nick. Cameron Carney was also named a player to watch for the men's team. When we come back, we'll talk about 2 WIU athletes who set new school records. Stay tuned for more.
Western Illinois University. Our beginnings in 1902 focused on providing affordable teacher education training. We've changed with the times and excelled through the years. Today, Western is positioned for the next 100 years and beyond. Affordability of diverse academic programs, outstanding learning opportunities, and hands-on experiences provide excellent job placement for our graduates. This is Western, forever Western.
Welcome back to Leatherneck Insider. Akeem Kali was recently able to break WIU's mile record and ended up setting the Hawkeye Invitational meet record.
I mean, breaking the school record is a norm for me. I mean, like, I was excited that I broke the school record, like, since I just been here for so long. But it was just like another record to me.
WIU's track and field athletes Richard Brown and Lucas Hoffer were both able to break Western's record for the 600 meter at the Hawkeye Invitational.
It was a good race for me and Richard both. We moved up. Our times are a little bit quicker than they were last year, so off to a good start, and we hope that we can continue it through the rest of the year.
The Macomb High School cheerleading team went to state twice this season. The Bombers placed 18th out of 25 at the Illinois High School Association State Championship this past weekend. They scored 80 points, making them shy of advancing to the finals. However, they did compete in the ICCA state competition and placed 6th out of 32 teams earlier this year. The Macomb High Wrestling had a very successful season this year and kicked off postseason play last week as they competed in the Class 1A Regional at Tremont. Abdullah Dukure has more on how the regional went.
The Macomb High Wrestling team is currently ranked 18th in the state with a record of 12-9. The Bombers are starting to receive the recognition they deserve as 5 of their players received honorable mention last week.
It's always nice to get the kids some recognition for their hard work. It's kind of a double-edged sword because now they got targets on their backs. It's nice to go into places and not be known, but it's also very nice for them to be recognized for what they are accomplishing. Cohen Green at 113, Jack Mansfield at 120, Carter Hogue at 152, Max Reiner 182, and Ethan Ladd at 195, I believe, are the ones.
Unfortunately, the Bombers did not advance as a team in regional last week. However, 4 of their players advanced to sectional individually. Max Reiner, Ethan Ladd, Carter Hogue, and Cohen Green will all advance to sectional for the Bombers in Stanford this Friday and Saturday, February 11 and the 12. For Leatherneck Insider, I am Abdullah Dukure.
Thank you, Abdullah. That is all the time we have here on the Leatherneck Insider for today. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at InsiderWIU. And be sure to like us on Facebook. For that, I'm Kylie Rogers.
And I'm Johnny Jazarowski. See you all next week.